Hello everyone. We are here at IDEX with Stan from Red Cat. Welcome, Stan.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm doing great. It's a pleasure to be here at IDEX.
Great. So, coming to my first question, could you tell us a little bit about yourself, about your company, and what chose you this specific career path?
Sure. So again, my name is Stan Nowak. I'm the Vice President of Marketing for Red Cat Holdings. I've been working for Red Cat about 3 years, but I've been in this industry, the defense industry, and specifically robotics and autonomous systems for almost 25 years now. I started at Red Cat about 3 years ago, and it was really to pivot the company from a more commercial company to strictly defense. And so now we are the foremost authority on small tactical drones in the defense industry, both domestic and globally.
So, how does Red Cat's technology address the current challenges in the defense, such as security, surveillance, and tactical operations? Could you share example of how your drones have been used in these sectors?
So Red Cat has two subsidiaries currently. One subsidiary is called Teal Drones. They are based out of Salt Lake City, Utah, and they have developed what we now call the Black Widow, which is the winner of the U.S. Army Short Range Reconnaissance Program of Record within the United States. And so that aircraft has now become kind of the top of the small quad rotor tactical drone technology. And so we have that. And then we also have FlightWave Aerospace. FlightWave we acquired about last year. And they have a product called Edge 130, which is a tricopter, a hybrid VTOL tricopter, which takes off vertically and then transitions to forward flight. We are also going to be working into FPV drone technology. And then we also have a controller called the Web, which is the Warfighter Electronic Bridge. That web ultimately is going to control all of those aircraft. And so we now have a family of systems that we call the Arachnid family of systems, which is very much based on a spider type theme. So all these drones are used for intelligence, surveillance, reconnaissance, but they also have capabilities of computer vision, machine learning, artificial intelligence capabilities. The processing power in the drone is really, really high. We use a Qualcomm RB5 processor. So we're able to take third-party software applications and have it funnel through the drone technology for the warfighters.
So, Red Cat's acquisition of FlightWave Aerospace System has expanded your portfolio. So, how do you envision this strategic move enhancing Red Cat's defense-focused aerial solutions in the near future?
So yeah, ultimately the whole idea behind acquiring FlightWave was to develop really what we call a portable kill chain. So for the frontline warfighter, now they're going to have available a toolkit that they can choose from, whether they want to do medium range reconnaissance, short range reconnaissance, or precision strike, all with one controller. They can choose what they want specifically for that mission, and they don't have to call in assets from another group to come in and help them.
Right.
So this really empowers the frontline warfighter to have a selection of capabilities, and then which ultimately keeps them safe.
Teal Drone is known for its high-performance drones. How do these drones cater to the unique needs of the defense industry, and what sets them apart from other drones in the market?
So what's interesting about Teal Drones, one of our subsidiaries, is that they've had a really long pedigree of small quad rotors, and the evolution of the drones going back from Golden Eagle to Teal 2 to now Black Widow is that we pride ourselves on the idea of being low cost, portable, and recoverable. And so what you do is you can actually field repair these drones. So the warfighter, if something happens to the drone where it does take a hard landing, you don't have to replace the entire drone. You could it's modular where you can just replace one of the arms and get it back up the air again. Right. That's a different paradigm in our industry. And a lot of other companies, if their drone hits the ground, that's it, you're done. And so we designed it in that mind, and it's very ruggedized, and we know that the warfighters are going to be using it on a constant basis. And so we have field repair kits and spare parts that they don't have to send the drone to us to fix. They can do it themselves.
So it's like a customizer.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
So the integration of Teal Drones and FlightWave under Red Cat's portfolio is an exciting development. So how are you combining the strength of both subsidiaries to create more robust solutions for defense agencies?
So this goes with the family of systems mentality, right? And so there's a lot of other companies that are working on drones that are they're larger than us, that go farther distances. We are in this space to dominate the small tactical drones at the front lines, right? The ones that are backpackable, ones that can be portable and taken with the warfighter. So when we looked at FlightWave, we saw that they have this, Edge 130 is a very elegant looking drone. It has very high capabilities, but also a lot of potential. So the plan is to actually evolve the Edge 130 drone into something called Triton. Triton will be kind of the next evolution of that drone. Triton will also work on the same Doodle Labs network that Black Widow does, right? So now The warfighter can then again choose that tool from the toolkit, fly on the same network, and the drones could actually be talking together. So that's really where all this is headed, is that the family of systems, those drones are all going to be working together on the battlefield.
So, in terms of product development, how does Red Cat prioritize innovation for the defense sector? And what are some of the key technological advancements that are shaping your product offerings?
So our entire business model at Red Cat is really to be aligned with warfighter needs, wants, and desires. We call ourselves a company of listeners. So we sit down with the warfighters on a regular basis. We hear what their pain points are. We hear what they have to go through on the front lines, and we develop all of our platforms to meet those needs. So we're not designing in a bubble. We're able to actually hit those major requirements that they have. And we've gotten a lot of success, which again has resulted in us winning the U.S. Army Short Range Reconnaissance Program of Record because of those very strict requirements. We were able to meet and actually exceed. And so we start to look at the future of how all this stuff is going to work together. The idea is to keep this pathway of technology so that the drone itself is really just a truck. It holds things, right? It holds other sensors. It has software applications, just like your cell phone. The plan is to be able to have the warfighter just select the capabilities they want, go do a mission, have it come back, and be able to make really good decisions to make them safe.
As you know, the drones play a growing role in the modern warfare. What are the most significant challenges Red Cat faces when working with military and defense clients to ensure reliability, safety, and efficiency?
It's a very interesting question. So, years ago, we saw that in the robotics industry, a lot of the drones were operating kind of in a bubble, meaning they were kind of single point solutions. They weren't talking to anything else on the battlefield. You fast forward to now, you have to seamlessly align with everything else that's happening there. I call it the Internet of Battlefield Things, IOBT. All the stuff that's on the battlefield has to be talking to each other. So the biggest challenge when it comes to not only domestic is how are those protocols going to work? How is this air robot going to speak with a ground robot? But then you add the layer of the international community, right? How do you have the U.S. Robotics talk with the international robotics, right? So those are the challenges that we're working through, and we're creating those protocols for all those robotic systems to be talking to each other.
So, with evolving regulatory landscape and increasing competition, how does Red Cat position itself to maintain leadership in the defense-focused drone market?
So one of the things that we like to focus on too is not just the drone systems, but really have a stance and opinion within the drone industry itself. We want to make sure that we're positioning ourselves to be forward thinkers, that we're not just thinking about tomorrow, a year, 2 years, but we're thinking about the 5, 10, 15-year line of where all this technology is going. And I always say that we're still in the infancy of robotics. We're still in what I call the Model T phase of the robotics industry, where there's so much more capability that hasn't even been thought of yet. And so we put together the greatest minds in our company to start thinking about the vision of where these autonomous systems are going, and how is the battlefield going to change. I think that's the other thing that we need to look at too. Is it's not just the robotics. The battlefield is ever changing. Once you start to go in different environments right now, you look at Ukraine. That's a very specific environment. In the future, we could be looking at the South China Sea or littoral environments of islands. That's a completely different operating environment. And we positioned ourselves to start thinking about that and actually create solutions for the future. Let's do it now.
Like, what about the regulatory frameworks from the government or from the different countries and the region? How do you deal with that?
So what's interesting in our industry, especially the international community, a lot of these countries that we're starting to work with actually look to the U.S. Army for their requirements.
Right.
That means that since we've won a program of record with the U.S. Army, we've actually already kind of taken a lot of the burden off the international community because we've hit a lot of those requirements already. So they always say that, if it's good for the U.S. Army, then it's good for us. And so when it comes to airworthiness and compliance and other certain regulations, we've kind of already hit those benchmarks with the U.S. Army. So it makes it a little easier to sell than to the international customer.
Right. So, could you discuss any notable collaboration or partnership that Red Cat has established within the defense sector, and how these relationships have contributed to the development of cutting-edge drone technology?
So we at Red Cat are very forward thinking. Last year, we formed an industry consortium called the Red Cat Futures Initiative. The whole point of that initiative was to bring together the best in breed of technology, software, hardware, and funnel it in through our drones. So we always say what we do best is we do drone technology the best. And we'll partner then with other companies to do artificial intelligence, computer vision, GPS denied, multi-domain operations, right? Working with unmanned surface vessels and other things like that. So we partner with a whole bunch of companies like Ocean Power Technologies, Athena AI, Reveal Technology, Primordial Labs doing AI-driven voice control, command and control drones. All of these companies are the best in breed of what they do. And now we partner with them, and now we're creating the tendrils to be able to have their technology funnel through our drone.
Right.
So it's a different paradigm that it used to be. We don't want to be a company that we do it all. We want to be doing the best that we do with the drone technology, and we partner with all these other companies to bring it as fast as we can to the warfighter.
So looking ahead, what are the key trends you foresee in the defense focused drone sector? And how is Red Cat preparing to adapt and lead in this evolving landscape, or for the maybe for next 5 to 7 years?
Where we all kind of see everything headed is this idea I mentioned earlier, the portable kill chain. The frontline warfighter wants to be able to not only seek out a target, but then neutralize that target all within a few minutes. Really, the only ways to do that is to try to equip your drones with the means to be able to accomplish those types of missions. In this case, again, you can have a Triton aircraft or H-130 aircraft and a Black Widow go out and seek targets at the front lines, but then have these low-cost precision strike FPV drones come in and just, start taking out the targets. That's really where I think all of this is headed. It's how are these robotic systems talking together, working together in a variety of missions, in a variety of environmental conditions, right? And so that's really the future, I think, of this. And then how are those air assets that are talking with ground robots, talking with sea robots, right? How are they all speaking together? I think that's really where all this is headed.
Well, I think that is all for today. Thank you, Stan.
Thank you so much.
With us.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.